Hi everyone, so today I'm here with a slightly different video. If you follow me on Instagram, you will probably already know that I did a vegan for a week challenge a couple of weeks ago. And today I thought I would film this video and tell you why I decided to do it, how I felt about it, and also show you what I ate, including all the recipes. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. And let's start with a question why I decided to do it. Going vegan for like a period of time has been on my mind for quite a while now, because I have been trying to reduce the amount of meat and dairy that I eat during the past, I would say, I don't know, 8 months. I've slowly been replacing meat with fish, and I haven't really been drinking milk, and I tried avoiding like cooking creams and all that jazz. But I've never been vegetarian or vegan before, and because I have been trying to eliminate these ingredients from my diet, I thought that like going vegan for a period of time would give me the opportunity to kind of try different recipes that are only plant-based, so that I could basically include them into my diet. Anywho, I've been wanting to do this challenge for quite a while, but I've been like putting it off just because it's like a big change in what I usually eat, and also because I'm like out and about every weekend and I like to travel. It was like kind of impossible for me to like really fully commit to it. But a couple of weeks ago I had a week when I had a little bit more time to plan my meals, and I didn't have any crazy activities planned during the weekend, so I finally decided to go for it. I was really interested to see if I could even like do it. Not eating meat wasn't my biggest concern, but I thought I would really struggle with not having any seafood, cheese, which I love, and also eggs. But more about that at the end of the video. Right now I'm basically gonna go through my weekly menu and pretty much tell you and show you what I ate. So on Monday I started my day with a smoothie. I think I just blended some blueberries and a banana and maybe an apple as well. This is kind of like my go-to smoothie, so I just decided to go with that. Then for lunch I had hummus on toast, topped off with some sauteed red onion and red bell pepper, which was actually really delicious. For snack I also made myself some chocolate balls that kind of like lasted me for about a week and were really delicious. So I'm gonna tell you how I made them. Sorry if I'm looking down, but I'll be reading the recipe. You basically need 1 cup of dates, 1/3 of a cup of coconut flour, 1/3 of a cup of grounded almonds, 1/4 of a cup of cocoa, 1 spoon of almond butter, and 2 spoons of coconut oil. And everything that you need to do is basically put everything in a food processor, blend that all together, and then you basically just scoop up the mixture into your hand and make you know, the balls. So that is everything you need to do, and then you can store them in the fridge and they will last you for like the whole week. And yeah, I found them really yummy and also quite satisfying and great if you have like chocolate cravings basically. And then for dinner on Monday I had pea falafel with a side of a salad. My salad was basically lettuce and tomatoes, and I'm not sure if I also put some corn and seeds in it. And then I just put some like pea falafels on top, which were, by the way, also really good. I think this is probably like my favorite recipe from the ones I've tried, or maybe my second favorite. Again, it is really easy to like make them. All you need is a cup of chickpeas, 3/4 of a cup of peas. I just bought them in a can, but you can also have frozen peas and defrost them. Then I added 1/4 of a cup of pumpkin seeds, 1 onion, a pinch of salt, 1 spoon of lemon juice, 2 spoons of olive oil, and 2 bunches of kale. And again, all you need to do with this is, well, you first fry an onion on some olive oil, and then when the onion cools down, you put again all the ingredients in the blender, mix everything, and again scoop them into your hands, and you know, create some like falafel looking balls, I guess. And you just put that on the tray on a baking sheet, and you put them in the oven for about 25 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. Along with the falafels and the salad, I also made myself a dressing. For the dressing, you need 1/4 of a cup of soy yogurt, 1.5 spoons spoon of vegan mayo, a half a spoon of tahini, a half a spoon of lemon juice, and some salt. And again, everything you need to do with that is basically mix everything in a blender and pour it over. And if you don't have vegan mayo, which I didn't and I made it myself, it is also very easy to make. I basically blended a half a cup of soy milk, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, half a teaspoon of mustard, and half a teaspoon of salt. And then I blended everything, and slowly I also started adding 3/4 of a cup of sunflower oil. That's how you get vegan mayo that you can also use in the recipe for the dressing. Before I go on, I need to let you know that I usually made bigger portions. I used bigger measurements of ingredients that I was like reading them out to you right now. I usually doubled that amount because what I had for dinner on a specific day, I also had for lunch the next day. And with mayo, I had a lot of mayo left over, so I use it with like different recipes. So yeah, just to put it out there in case you're like now watching the video and you're like wondering why there's like so much food, because I used like double or triple portions because I was making things in batch. Anyway, let's go to day 2, which was Tuesday. For breakfast, I had avocado on toast. Oh, and another thing that I need to let you know is that while I was doing the vegan for a week challenge, I was also trying to eat gluten-free, so that made everything even harder for me because I actually also wanted to see if I may be allergic to either dairy or gluten. I don't know if you know that, but I've had problems with coughing since April. It got a lot better than it was, but I'm still coughing quite a lot every day. So I thought I would eliminate everything that I could be potentially allergic to from my diet so that I could see if it helps, basically. So yeah, that's why I've been also trying to eat gluten-free. But moving on to day 2 lunch, I had the same thing I had for dinner the night before, so beef falafels with salad. And then for dinner I made zucchini patties with some roasted potatoes, and I also had some of the salad dressing left over with it. The zucchini patties recipe was my least favorite. I thought I would really like them, but I don't know, something went wrong and they tasted very floury, and it was just like a big mess when I was cooking basically as well. So I definitely need to maybe adjust that recipe if I'm gonna be making them again soon, but I'm still gonna tell you how I made them. The recipe says you need 1/4 of a cup of oats, 1 spoon of flour, 1.5 spoon of ground flax seeds, 1 spoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half of an onion, 2 spoons of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of water, 1 handful of parsley, and the main ingredient, a cup of grated zucchini. So again, everything that you need to do is mix everything in a large bowl. You don't need a food processor for that. I just threw everything in and like mixed it with a spatula, and then you leave the mixture to stand for about 30 minutes, and then you can go on and make some patties from the mixture, and you basically fry them in a pan with some oil for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And for the roasted potatoes, I think I just sprinkled on some garlic powder, some rosemary and salt, and put that in the oven on 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. Then on Wednesday for breakfast I had soy yogurt with fruit. Then I had the zucchini fritters and potatoes for lunch again, and for dinner I made black bean burgers, which were my favorite. They turned out really good, and I have made them again since, but instead of like frying them like I did it for the first time, I put them in the oven. Oven was my favorite because it was just less of a mess and it was quicker for me to do it. Okay, so you need 1 can of black beans. You can also use kidney beans. I used black beans for the first time and then kidney beans second time, and they were both great. Then you need half of an onion, chopped obviously, 2 minced garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, 1/4 of a cup of fresh parsley, 1/4 of a cup of rolled oats or breadcrumbs. I used rolled oats, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and also 1/4 of a cup of flour of your choice. So again, you can go on and basically put the ingredients all apart from flour and oil, which you will also need for, you know, frying the black bean burgers if you want to fry them. Yeah, you put all the rest of the ingredients in a food processor, blend everything together and again make some like patties out of the mixture. And then if you fry them, you can like roll them in some flour and fry them on oil, or you can put them in the oven on a sheet of baking paper for about 30 minutes on 180 degrees. I served mine with some gluten-free bread. I also put some of the mayo that I had in the fridge in it as like a sauce, and I also put in some tomatoes. If I had it, I would also use lettuce and things like that. Let's move on to Thursday. For breakfast I had yogurt with fruit, then for lunch I had black bean burgers again, and for dinner I had pasta pesto. I just boiled some gluten-free pasta. Then for pesto I basically made it, let me tell you the recipe. I blended 2 cups of fresh basil, olive oil, half a cup of pine nuts, and 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. And I think I also put in some garlic, I think 2 cloves of garlic, a squeeze of lemon juice, and some salt to taste. The pesto turned out really nice. I really liked it. I just poured it over the drained pasta, and I also put in some tomatoes and some olives. Then on Friday I had avocado on toast again for breakfast, pasta pesto for lunch, and for dinner I had some sweet potato fries, or maybe regular fries, I don't even remember anymore, with some vegetarian sausages, or like vegan sausages basically. I've been trying to like avoid the processed food because I really wanted to eat as clean as possible while I was doing this challenge and prepare all of the food from scratch. But on Friday, or on the weekend in general, I felt really tired and I resorted to some processed ingredients like these vegetarian sausages, but they were actually really nice. And I also had some tomatoes on the side. On Saturday for breakfast I had porridge that I made with soy milk, and again I think I put some berries in it. Then for lunch I made some rice with veggies. So I just boiled some rice, I fried some onion, I fried some frozen veggies that I had in the freezer, and then combined everything together. And I also had some of those vegetarian sausages that I had left over. And then for dinner I decided to be a little bit naughty and I made myself pizza. I used a gluten-free base, and then I put on some tomato sauce, some canned mushrooms, and some red bell pepper, and I topped it all off with vegan cheese, which I think was made specifically for pizza, for like melting basically. I was a little bit afraid to try it because some people say it's disgusting, so I didn't really know what to expect, but surprisingly it was fine. It wasn't disgusting, it had barely any taste, but it did have a texture of a melted cheese. And then on Sunday I forgot what I had, but I think I had porridge for breakfast, and I still had some leftover rice, so I think I also ate that. Yeah, that was basically my weekly vegan menu. And now let's go to what I thought about the challenge itself and like vegan food and all that jazz. So first things first, my cravings. I was actually really surprised, even shocked maybe, that I had 0 cravings. I didn't miss meat, I didn't miss fish and like seafood, which I love. I didn't miss cheese, dairy, like nothing. I had no problem eating vegan at all. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video is that when I was like researching recipes and stuff like that, which I have to say I haven't done a whole lot of research, so the things that I ate, I don't even know if they were healthy and balanced. Probably not, because I really didn't have time to go into it all that much. But because I was only doing it for a week, I didn't feel like it was needed for me to do so much research. But while I was doing some research, I saw that the lack of vitamin B could be problematic if you eat vegan food. But I have to make a little bit of a disclosure, I guess. I actually do take some supplements. About 3 months ago, I started taking vitamin B complex and vitamin D because basically for the past 6 months I've been quite like not well physically and emotionally, let's put it like that. When it comes to vitamin D, I knew that I didn't have enough of it because I am living in England. It is really gloomy and dark most of the time here, especially now during the winter time. I basically don't see the sun at all. I leave for work when it's still dark outside and I come back when it's like pitch dark again, so I basically don't see the sun. So yeah, I decided to start taking vitamin D supplements to kind of boost up my immune system. And I also started taking vitamin B complex because I do have quite bad problems with anxiety, and because I don't want to go to the doctors and them having me prescribe hardcore drugs. Some of my friends have recommended me to try taking vitamin B because apparently it does help with stress and anxiety and things like that. So I've been taking that. So I wasn't really worried about being vitamin B12 or whatever deficient. So yeah, I thought I would just put it out there. But if you are going vegan and want to do this challenge for like maybe a longer period of time, this is something that you definitely need to look into. What I've also noticed is that my skin went a bit mental. Obviously, I don't know if this was food related. If I would be doing this challenge for a longer time, maybe it would be easier for me to like draw conclusions what's affecting it. But yeah, all of a sudden I had pimples all over my face, especially my chin. I do get pimples on my chin quite a lot. I don't know if it's like due to stress or hormones or diet or, you know, everything together probably, but I never get the amount that I got that week. I literally had like 6 pimples on my chin, which has never happened to me before, so I was freaking out a little bit. I don't know if I maybe ate too much carbs, which by the way is another thing I was really worried about while I was doing this challenge, because I feel like it was very, like, all the food that I ate was quite carb heavy. I don't know if you have to like eat more carbs when you're eating vegan, or if there's like any way to like avoid them without like eating veggies only, you know what I mean? So if you are a vegan yourself and know what you're doing with your food, please do let me know down below. And then when it comes to things that I found difficult, was definitely the whole cooking, researching, buying food part. It literally took me a whole day or maybe even 2 to find the recipes that I could like make. Now don't get me wrong, there is a lot of resources out there and I think you can do that a lot quicker, you know, plan out your meals. You have Pinterest, you have What I Eat in a Day YouTube videos, you have like vegan blogs, you know, there's like a lot of recipes out there, so that wasn't the problem. But the problem is that a lot of the recipes that I found use spices, like a lot of spices that I cannot handle. So yeah, I had quite a lot of trouble finding the recipes that I would like, and then also food shopping, because even though I do live in London and you would expect for me to have like a lot of ingredients available to me, my closest stores are actually really tiny and they don't carry any vegan stuff apart from like veggies. So I had to go to central London, I had to go to Whole Foods to get some, you know, vegan ingredients, and also for other ingredients that are not specifically vegan but you would still need them, I had to make an online food shop and had them delivered to my house because I couldn't find a whole bunch of ingredients in any of the nearby stores, which was really annoying. And I also found that I needed a lot more time to prepare the meals, even though most of the recipes requires just to like mix everything together and like either bake or fry. Mixing everything together is fine, even though like you do need a lot of ingredients, so it can get very hectic in the kitchen. But like the whole making patties things and like frying everything, it just takes up a lot of time. Yeah, that's a couple of downsides that I've experienced with this challenge, but I think overall it was good and I'm glad I did it because I realized that vegan food is quite tasty, and I will definitely keep making vegan meals and have them be a part of my diet. It's been a couple of weeks since I did the challenge and I have actually been eating, I would say, maybe 50% vegan. I've continued making a lot of these meals that I've mentioned today, although I do want to find some new ones because I'm already getting tired of some recipes, so I definitely need to do more research. If you know of any good vegan recipe resources, also please leave them down below so that I can check them out. I've also been having quite a few like vegetarian meals, so I have been consuming a lot less meat and dairy than I used to, and I hope I can keep up with this. Another thing that's changed for me is the perception of the vegan community. Before, I thought of them in a bit of a negative way, probably because of some particular people that are very aggressive with their views. But when I was doing the challenge, I actually had quite a few people getting in touch with me trying to help me. I was just really happy that I had like some support support if I needed it, basically. So my perception of the community definitely changed. I guess that's everything I wanted to say today. Please let me know down in the comments below what you think about veganism, if you have tried eating vegan, if you are vegan, or if you want to try it, or if you don't want to try it. I'm really interested in hearing about it. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. Let me know if you maybe want me to show you more vegan recipes in the future. Maybe in my vlogs when I'm preparing my meals, I can from time to time show you what I eat if you're interested in that, or I can maybe film a what I eat in a day video, vegan or non-vegan. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see, basically. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my future videos, which mostly are travel, living abroad, living in London related. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking.